Hello again. I just recently had a birthday, and the one thing I wanted was the Yuletide Tarot. And as you can see, I managed to pick it up when we went out for dinner and to hit the bookstore. So I just wanted to take the time to go through this. It's a nice box. It flips up. Um, Very nice cover for the book. Um, It has a little quote or comment in the inside cover. And so this is a really nice book. You can see it's a nice full color, gives information about the cards. So it looks like it's going to be a really nice guidebook. See how the cards are. And I will admit, I've already flipped through the cards just a tiny bit because I wanted to see whether or not it was a pip deck. Some decks I've been excited about recently when I got them. The Major Arcana was gorgeous, but the Minor Arcana basically ended up just being pips, and that was very disappointing. Because I like my tarot, all 78 cards, fully illustrated. So we're going to do a little flip through. If they would quit, you can tell they're very slick. So here we have the first card is the Child, which is one aspect of the Fool, and kind of sets the stage for this deck. The Magus instead of the. Now I love that they brought in, some Welsh folklore. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it. The Mary Laud, I think. It's a very interesting Welsh custom, so I like that. Okay, had to prop up my surface. The Matrona, the Holly King, Santa Claus. I like how, well, this is interesting imagery. I'm not sure about the hand, but seeing as the lovers typically has the angel standing between them, I guess this is, unseen influence of providence. But I really like how they are incorporating different Yule-based folklore into the imagery of the cards. This looks a little chilly. The tree is interesting because there's different types of fruit. I have to read up. And I love this because it's a nod to A Christmas Carol and Scrooge's last ghostly encounter. And I love that they have Krampus. I have just really been getting into Krampus lately, and so I was more than thrilled to find out he was included. Now that's interesting. The lightning tree instead of the tower. Oh, how pretty. Mm-hmm. Well, that's neat. I'm really liking the interpretations of these cards. I love the winter and Yule theme throughout it. Now that's interesting. It's very interesting take on judgment, which I like. Now, the one thing I found interesting with this deck, the way it's set up when you take it out of the box, is that all of the aces are together. So this is the Ace of Candles. I would assume the candles are wands, since it's fire. Ace of Good Cheer, so this is the suit of cups. The Ace of Canes is most likely swords. And the Ace of Gifts would most likely be pentacles. So you get to see all of the twos together, back to back. All of the threes, which probably makes for interesting correlations. You can kind of see the patterns to the numerology. I've noticed that with the minor arcana so far, the imagery seems to be much more modern, where the major arcana was more traditional, Victorian and older, kind of based in the time period that the folklore originated and had its prevalence. Well, that's pretty. All of the nines seem to be a bit overindulgent, a little bit, except for the Nine of Gifts. Ten of Candles would be like January when all the bills come in. Oh, poor snowman. And it starts with the Kings. This is aggravating me. Oh. Ooh, that's pretty. I think I've seen this scene several times, just with different people, different decorations. Yeah. And there we go. Ends with the pages. So I was very excited when I heard that this deck was coming out, because I've been on the lookout for a Yuletide Christmassy deck for some time that wasn't kind of lame. Um, I did pick up a deck a couple years ago. I thought I was really going to like, because it was kind of a Nordic or Scandinavian theme. Um, and the artwork was very beautiful. I liked the colors, a lot of blues and purples. But the minor arcana was just pips, so that was very disappointing. So that was the Yuletide Tarot. I do like the cards very much. I like the imagery. I like how it draws from different sources of folklore around the Yuletide season, and if there's any that, people wouldn't normally be exposed to or know about. Um, it's a great introduction to these things. I mean, you've just got the picture, but the guidebook, I'm sure, is going to discuss a little bit behind the cards and educate you about the meaning and why they're included. I'm just going to look up the Mary Laud here. Yes. Candles are wands, good cheer is cups, canes are swords, and gifts are pentacles. So the Mary Laud is referred to as the Queen of Winter, the physical embodiment of winter. High Priestess, the Bone Queen. She threatens to simultaneously tear you into 1,000 pieces, whilst also carrying you across the abyss of mystery and towards the light of spring. The Mary Laud is a Welsh midwinter custom of bardic battle, where the skull of a horse atop a white robe is animated and carried from house to house and pub to pub. She is paradoxically fabulous and terrifying all at the same time. She stands at a liminal time, and in her undead guise, she sings of a mystery that was old when the world was new. She carries the child upon her back across the abyss of the mysterious, and in doing so reveals something of its nature. The Mary Laud is unifying force that binds all opposites together in a way that coalesces their energies into a cohesive whole. She does this from a position of deep feeling and balance. This is a deeply ethereal card that deals primarily with the subtle and often spiritual forces at play in one's life and situation. And I've seen a video on the tradition, and people put together this Mary Laud being with the horse's skull, and they go from house to house and pub to pub, and they try to gain entrance, and they do it by singing their request, and the person at the door trying to keep them from coming in has to sing their response, sing reasons why they can't come in or they can't be allowed in, and whoever ends up winning that battle of wits in song, either if the homeowner wins, then the Mary Laud goes away. If Mary Laud wins, then they come in and have to be treated to refreshment. And it's a interesting, quaint custom. So you can look that up if you're interested in knowing more about it. But overall, I'm very pleased with this deck, very excited to have it, and we'll work on doing a video working with it in the near future. So until then, brightest blessings.